Hi everybody, welcome to G4G here on YouTube. Today we're taking a look at a game for Android called Transformers Forged to Fight. So as you can see there briefly, it is from Kabam, also known as the people who do Marvel Contest of Champions. And they have, at least part of Kabam has been bought out by Netmarble, the people who do Marvel Future Fight and Chrono Blade. And this is going to be a Contest of Champions-ish game. What's pretty cool is if you look here on the screen, you will see Classic Optimus, Soundwave, Starscream, Laserbeak, Grimlock. I think this is one of the car mergers on the Decepticons. Bruticus, I believe, is the final version of him. I think that's who it is. I mean, it kind of looks like Rumble, but kind of not. The Bumblebee is modern, which is interesting. To see a modern amongst so many classics like that. But I've played a little bit of it so far. It's not one that I'm really going to play on an Android emulator because, like Contest of Champions, there's a lot of active key pressing to it. Or a lot of screen touching, I really should say. And I've never really configured my KO player or Nox to do keyboards. Although I'm pretty sure if you maybe were able to bind a screen region to a key, like back would be A, forward would be D. I don't know. It's Contest of Champions, and this is a tough game to do without actually touch, because a long touch is the power hit, a tap is the light hit, holding on your character is a block, and of course swiping forward is the medium attack, and of course swiping back is the dodge. So it's basically going to be Contest of Champions with Transformers, but there's a few extra things that are going to be going on here, and we'll be taking a look at those. As soon as it loads everything up over here. Okay, so here we go. Featured bot Windblade, one of the newer ones. Pretty cool looking. Let's up the volume a little bit here. Okay, so first thing we will take a look at is the base. And here, unlike Contest of Champions, we actually have a base that does things sort of like the lab in Future Fight. And I do believe we get crystals, so here we're going to drag this crystal, and this will turn into a character. Or regular gear. Okay, so you can see the similarities between Contest of Champions immediately. You see things like energy and gold. Let's see what this is over here. Not even really too sure what that is. It's probably upgrades for your characters. Here we have another crystal type. Alliance HQ is currently under construction. Yeah, so you have... I mean, it looks like the base of an RTS game, but in reality, it's not. It's sort of like Future Fight's lab is probably the best way to put this over here. Here, if we take a look at settings, you'll see things like being able to log in to keep your account synced, typical Kabam stuff, sound, chat, global alliance, friend requests, cutscenes that you've already opened up. Now, I do believe this is not a fresh account over here. You can see that there is some experience. I've played a little bit of it, and it does have you go through, you know, a bit of an intro. As you can see here, bots come in your typical rock, paper, scissor kind of setup over here. So Optimus Prime is one of the ones that I have. Here on this screen, abilities, armor buffs, roll out, armor break, special attacks, Energon chop, axed, which is not open yet. Clicking on him will transform him. Trying to see if I can get a... And here, similar to Contest of Champions, it will tell you synergy bonuses based on the people that they have. So, he's enemies with... Yep, Motormaster. I was right. That was one of those guys. Brothers in Arms, Ironhide and Ratchet. That's classic. I wish it would give me the rock, paper, scissor thing going on over there. I have Sideswipe. Again, classic. A friend of mine actually had this toy as a kid. I had Prowl. I mean, I had plenty of Transformers, and actually a good friend of mine often had ones that I didn't, so it was quite complimentary. I was a little jealous of the fact that he had Omega Supreme, which at the time was a monstrous sized Transformer. I mean, it was almost like a play set because it had the track and everything like that. He had Optimus, but I had Megatron, I had Galvatron, I had Jetfire, which basically was a gigantic ripoff of a Robotech. I mean, it was really a Macross ship. It transformed the same way. You could actually stop Jetfire mid-transformation to get the Guardian mode of a Veritech. And here's Grindor. So I have two Autobots and a Decepticon. Similar to Contest of Champions. You know, you can do your upgrades. So this gray crystal over here is the typical gray item that you got in Contest of Champions. Ones that were not color specific. They were just, you know, neutral. So we're going to go to missions over here. And it's as you can see here, based even on this screen, you can tell it's Contest of Champions with Transformers. I will say that I'm playing this, I believe, on a fairly good tablet, and I would say the video quality of Contest of Champions is a little bit better. I mean, it's still pretty nice. I think it's just not nearly as detailed as Contest of Champions. But as you could hear from the static a little bit there on the sound, it is a fairly intense game. I'm looking at my CPU load over here. It's actually not particularly high, but it's the memory must be pretty high. It's just crushing Nox a little bit. So here you have this sort of map screen, and it's it's similar to the Contest of Champions map, except it is more from a third-person thing than that kind of top-down. And it actually reminds me of a very, very large vehicle map from UT2K4. So here, okay, it looks like green is got a bonus over what might be tech or stealth or something. There's Mirage, of course, he's classic. Here, it's a push. No one is stronger over the other in terms of their classes. So we've seen at least 4. We've seen the chess knight, which maybe is like a leader position. Mirage, maybe stealth, tech. Grindor is maybe just like raw power with the fist. And Swipe is maybe speed. Almost like wings. So now, as you know, Contest of Champions isn't your typical rock, paper, scissors. It's got about 5 that go in a circle. And that is probably the most involved that I've seen of any of the mobile games. Oz has got 3, 4. Red, blue, green, and yellow. Marvel Future Fight has blasters. Blue blasters, red skill, or and energy, green energy, and everything. So, typical of Contest of Champions, there's the block. But it's actually got a more involved combat over here because you do have the transformation into car mode for a hit. And it's not the easiest thing to play with a mouse because you're constantly having to move it to different sides of the screen. But at least you get to see some of the combat. We get experience, we get gold. And through Google Play, it looks like it definitely picked up my progress because Grindor was a transformer that I gained from a crystal. So here we see Optimus Prime as potentially a leader position, being strong over Motor Master, which is maybe just strength. This down here is Auto Fight, similar to Marvel Contest of Champions, the brain with the wire through it. And it's making it look like Motor Master is an individual transformer, but I think I honestly do believe he was a combiner. And I want to believe he was part of Bruticus, if I remember correctly, but it's been a while. I mean, obviously Devastator was the first. Then there was the aerial bots. Then there was Bruticus, who was smarter than Devastator. And then the combiners just got out of control a little bit. Believe it or not, in terms of toy size, my Jetfire is about the same size as old Voltron. Not Netflix Voltron, but the original line Voltron. The two of them are about the same size, except Voltron is basically all metal, whereas Jetfire is a lot of plastic. Okay, yeah, so holding the mouse is the heavy hit, which in this case... Oh, that's right, there's ranged... Okay, yeah, it's coming back to me now, because it's actually been a few weeks since I've played it. I've kind of been holding off playing it to do the video, so that I get to experience it with you guys, rather than knowing a lot and just reporting on it. It is a little bit different than Contest of Champions, where if you're hanging back and you tap on somebody, you actually shoot a ranged shot. And if you're closer, you're doing melee. So that is something that is a little bit different and more involved than MCC. Obviously, as you can see here, the map is essentially the same thing. It's just the perspective that is different. Rhinox. I wonder if that's one of the Beast War ones. So it looks like I do have somebody strong against him, and it's going to be Sideswipe. So there's that kind of tech-looking pattern again. And similar to Contest of Champions, you'll have an inventory where you can use heals and everything like that. So it seems like really what they did is reskinned MCC and maybe added some features that they thought, oh, well, you know, it's too late to add this to MCC, but, you know, we have a different game. So as you can see here, Sideswipe is pretty quick. And there's one of his abilities. Who was the other one that was like Sideswipe? Sunspot, maybe? I may have even had Jazz, too. I really don't remember. I know I had Prowl, because I know I had the cop car. And actually, Prowl was portrayed as being bad at one of the Transformer movies. They had the cop car belonging to a Decepticon. I had Grimlock. I even had some GoBots. Poor man's Transformers. So, we got what looks like Energon over here. Oh, I had a tooltip for a second. Use Energon to purchase exclusive items, including premium crystals. So here's your generic level ups. Here's your gold. Here's a tier 2 generic level up. And there is that repair kit that will heal up a bot while out on the map. Ah, Quintessa. I remember Quintessa. They were in the Transformers movie. The Quinticons, or... yeah, the five-sided face guys that had the Sharkticons in the pit. Believe it or not, if you've never seen it, you really should see the Transformers cartoon movie. It is... you have to understand, at the time, as a kid, it was mind-blowing because in all the G.I. Joe and Transformer cartoons, nobody died, and everything was very G to PG, and in the Transformers movie, things bordered on being rated R. There was a little bit of cursing for it, and a lot of Transformers died in that movie. So we have a $2 starter pack that guarantees a 2 to 4 star bot. There is a $10 3-star booster pack, which gives us Bumblebee, and he seems to have that leader icon over there. Let's see if there is a... it doesn't seem to be a help. Who is the featured bot? Bludgeon. Wow. Colorful character. He's a Decepticon. Sort of reminds me of the one, the more recent Transformers movie. The samurai guy, but he was an Autobot. I don't remember his name, honestly. I just remember him saying, like, you lack honor. So, there's also mods and relics, which we don't get to know that much about. And I would like to see if there is an explanation somewhere. So, I've got my free daily crystal. Probably like Contest of Champions, you're going to start getting dupes like crazy. Honestly, in MCC, my new characters are so few and far between. Like, I actually can't even sometimes remember what has been my newest character. I mean, you get so many Vision duplicates and Hulk duplicates, but... ooh, well... There we go. We got Bludgeon. Sort of reminds me of one of the triple changers. But of course he would, you know, he would come in as a 1-star because that's how this is. I truly believe MCC has got to be one of the cash grabbiest games out there. And I believe it's the worst gamble that I've ever seen in a mobile game. You just... Everything is such a ridiculous gamble in there that you can spend money to get a crystal and still wind up with duplicates. And apparently, much like MCC, this game even has the shard crystals. So sometimes you get not a full crystal, but smaller crystals that make up a full one. So if you're a huge Transformers fan, you might like it just to see the mix of some modern and older Transformers being together. And I don't know that there is necessarily a lot of good Transformer games out there, especially mobile. So, you know, if you are a Transformers fan, you might like the game. However, if you are like, oh, well, you know, this seems like a cool game, I'll give it a try, take it from somebody who has been playing MCC for years. You have to watch this game in terms of your money. It may be about as cash grabby as MCC. So now changed the featured bot. So it's even got some down here. It looks like it's got Bumblebee twice, Optimus Prime twice. They're the same things. It's this middle thing. Find relics. So it looks like relics are a gear that you can put around the base that will give you just certain buffs. And of course now we have Bludgeon. Oh, now we have even a new... I should know who that is. I'm going to have to check on that in a second. So Bludgeon, apparently, is this new Red Cross Swords category. Which I really wish I could find out what they all are. Aha! Well, okay. We can sort by the classes, but we can't seem to... I can't really get a name on these. So it looks like, very much like MCC, a green, a red. So in MCC, red was skill. There was a cosmic, there was a tech, there was a mutant, there was the augmented. Mutant was the yellow with the gene strands and everything. So it looks like potentially tech, leader, agility, fighting, raw strength, and maybe yellow is explosive or something like that. That seems like what this could all be. Apparently, I haven't even set a name yet, which I thought I did. Yeah, I haven't set a name yet. Well, that's pretty cool. Alright guys, so there is Marvel Contest of Champions, Forged to Fight. So here's your base. My imagination would be that as you get the relics and put them around the base, they will do things like maybe increase your team's chance to crit. Okay, so that's Mirage. He's tech. I like how they mentioned who was featured bots and everything, and they don't even talk about them down here. Limited time launch party missions. Reach level 12 to unlock 6 special missions. Rhinox mission, Ultra Magnus mission, Windblade. So, being that today is the 19th, I guess we're in the middle of the Windblade mission. I don't know if I want to get any of the starter packs. I do know that I know how MCC has gone, and I don't necessarily have faith that this will be any better. Let's take a look at the store. So, obviously the purple Energon is your premium currency. Here's the repair kits. I mean, it's even similar graphics to MCC and everything. And I like how they kind of separate the store from the crystals. So you don't go to the store to find crystals to buy. You go over here to crystals and you do that. And of course, the specials should be around somewhere. Doesn't seem we're going to be able to get back to them. Unfortunately, the back arrow works. There's some games lately where you try to arrow out of them and it won't take you out. You actually have to stack and swipe to get rid of it. So there you go, guys. There is Marvel Contest of Champions with Transform. I'm kidding. There's Transformers Forged to Fight. Could be a pretty cool game. Not always that thrilled with the graphics, especially compared to MCC, which I think has way better graphics than this. And it is Kabam, folks, so, you know, play at your own risk when it comes to being a money sink and everything. You've been warned, but hey, you know, it's certainly worth giving the game a try if you're a Transformers fan and just want to have Transformers punch each other. Maybe you want some more active combat from MCC, where the MCC combat has just never changed since it's been out. Take care, everybody.